This Mythbuster is looking at research on social media's effects on millennials' romantic and family relationships. The myth we are exploring is that social media is detrimental to young adults' capacity to form and maintain healthy relationships.
Now let's discuss the positives of social media use. A study from the Pew Research Center gathered qualitative and quantitative survey data on the social media use of 1,060 American teenagers, aged 13 through 17. The study found that 57% of teens have begun friendships online. 8% of teens with dating experiences have met romantic partners online. Roughly half of teens show romantic interest in potential partners online, and 44 to 59% of teens with dating experience feel more connected to their romantic partners through social media use. Sarah Coyne et al. Conducted a study in which participants responded to a relationship evaluation questionnaire, which was designed to gather information on 11 different facets of the participants' romantic relationships. Their survey focused on data for certain aspects of the romantic relationships, including relationship length, positive and negative communication, overall satisfaction, and media communication and connectivity, or frequency of the social media use. The researchers also assessed the reasons why individuals use the media to connect with their partner. The most common reason by far was to express affection. The analysis of text messaging was significantly related to positive forms of communication, showing that the media can act as a positive force in many relationships. It's likely that technology has increased the ease with which affection can be expressed. For example, people may now send a quick "I love you" smiley face text during an office meeting, or a quick phone call while doing the weekly shopping. Researchers further found that higher relationship satisfaction predicted more media use to express affection as well. Another study by Joshua Wong examines the role of digital media in facilitating international students' connectedness to their home countries, families, and cultures. Using semi-structured interviews with over 20 students and detailed picture diaries of the students' online communication activities, Wong demonstrates how social media use connects participants back home.
In this video, Molly uses an app called Glide to communicate with her parents who are both deaf. She talks about how she hasn't spoke to them in a while and really misses them. Molly explains how she can't believe how quickly her parents are moving already and apologizes for the way she's signing due to the cold weather and hopes they'll respond back soon.
International students and members of families who have dispersed around the globe keep in touch using many forms of social media, including Facebook, FaceTime, WhatsApp, Viber, Line, and KakaoTalk. Some students send their parents images of life abroad so they can help alleviate their family's feelings of empty nest syndrome by including them in their new lives through multimodal connection via social media. The evidence presented in this study demonstrate young adults' desires to stay connected to family over social media, which may suggest that young people are in fact capable of using media in healthy ways with respect to forming and maintaining relationships, even in altruistic ways in the case of international students who go off to live without their families for a period of time, eating their feelings of loneliness and pain through social media. Do you use social media to communicate with your partner?
Yes, yeah.
Has social media had an effect on your relationship?
I would say, like I said, since we live in a commuter way, it keeps us more interconnected. It lets us share the things that we like a lot with each other more readily. It's also kind of like what's brought us closer together, and that like each social media kind of has its own thing of how it like facilitates interaction between two people. And so what we'll usually do is, depending on what we're trying to send to each other, we'll use different apps, whichever one lets us play with the app and like express what we're trying to say.
Now we're going to be talking about social media and the negative impacts it has on relationships. Here are some examples of how social media can play a role in relationships. It is reported that 27% of teens become jealous or unsure about their relationships with their partners because of social media.
What are you doing? What is this?
I wasn't doing. I'm a photography major. That's my friend. She just
You're
asked me.
liking other girls' pictures on Instagram.
She just asked me to edit it.
Really? Is that Jenny? I've seen you like Jenny's pictures a lot.
What is that? She
Who's
pays
Jenny?
me.
What?
Why would I not like the girls' pictures who pays me for editing her picture?
Right now? right now.
I don't understand the problem.
You want to do
I don't
this
see the heart. I don't even
right
see the heart. I didn't even like it. Go check. Go check.
You got another notification?
That was the other person. She asked me to crop.
What are
like
all these likes? You said you didn't like any other pictures.
Well, it must have been by accident. I think someone hacked me.
31% of teens say that their partners talk to them on social media to see how they are doing. 21% say that their partner has looked through their messages, and 5% of teens say that their partner has pressured them to engage into sexual activity with them through social media, even though they didn't want to. There are also studies that say that the more you use social media, the more you are prone to jealousy with your partner and friends. Self-esteem plays a big role in that because you are able to find out things about your partner or friends that you otherwise would not have known if it weren't for this social media platform.
Social media, yes, it has. I realized that I let the negative people influence me in doing things that I didn't want to do. I used to drink, so of course I would hang out with people who would consume alcohol. I just felt like the pictures that we were posting was of us clubbing, of us going out. It has influenced, the people that were around me did influence me in a way that it shaped me.
It hasn't had an effect on my relationship because he doesn't really use social media, but I have heard of other couples where it could be like a guy liking a picture that the girl doesn't approve of, or they could be messaging someone else behind their back, so that could be an issue.
And since social media is more accessible, you do have access to past relationships, which can create jealousy between partners. But there are different types of social media. But in this case, Snapchat in particular was mentioned, saying that it could lead to changes in relationships because it could lead to jealousy and allow for behavior changes in a partner.
We would like to share some of the limitations we found while conducting our research. One of the limitations is that a lot of the research focuses on heterosexual couples and not couples in the LGBTQ community. This shows that the research isn't reflective of all populations, and there is still a lot of missing information. Another limitation is that a lot of the current research on social media focuses on marketing and not relationships. This is both interesting and concerning because it shows that social media can be a tool for selling products, and the focus has been on relationships before, but it isn't now.
After some careful evaluation of our sources, we decided that our myth is rejected. We reject our myth because of limitations in research. There is no research on LGBTQA couples, only heterosexual couples. Also, a lot of the recent research is focused on marketing efforts. We know social media can be both beneficial and detrimental to relationships, but there is not enough current research that focuses on all relationships. As a result, we cannot say with certainty that social media is or is not detrimental to forming and maintaining healthy relationships. Because of these uncertainties, we have to, in fact, reject the myth that social media is detrimental to young adults' capacity to form and maintain healthy relationships. Thanks for watching this Mythbusters episode by Number One for a reason.